The summer evening pulsed with warmth, the scent of grilled meat curling through the air, mingling with laughter, clinking glasses, and the hum of old songs playing through a tinny speaker. My birthday, or what was left of it, unfolded beneath a net of fairy lights strung across our backyard. Each bulb a tiny, flickering reminder of moments that once held joy. She stood by the wooden table. My ex-wife now. Her glass of gin caught the soft glow of the lights. Her posture graceful, but her eyes sharp, glazed, and distant. Then came the sentence, calm, cruel, and cold. "If you slipped away tomorrow, I wouldn't even care," she said, her smile cutting through the night like broken glass. The people around us erupted in laughter, thinking it just a clever jab, a roast, a party joke. But jokes don't sting like that. Jokes don't stick to the ribs and gnaw at you long after the music fades. I didn't flinch. I lifted my hot dog like a toast, met her gaze steadily, and said, "Let's see if you mean that." They laughed again. Of course, they did. They thought I was playing along. I wasn't. Later, while the backyard drowned in music, as drunken guests twirled beneath lights and no one noticed my absence, I quietly packed a single bag. Essentials only. No photos, no keepsakes. I left my phone on the nightstand. Its silence, the last word in our unfinished conversation. I didn't say goodbye. By dawn, I was gone. We'd spent 12 years together. 10 married. 7 trying to convince myself things could still be saved. Once, she wrote me poems gentle and alive. Over time, those verses shriveled into reminders to grab eggs, toilet paper, laundry soap. I became background noise in my own life. Missed calls, glances that passed right through me, changed passwords, private smiles she thought I wouldn't notice. I did. 3 months before the barbecue, I saw him, reflected in her sunglasses in an Instagram post. Just a blurred figure at first, but unmistakable the more I looked. She wasn't clever about it. She just assumed I'd never look close enough to care. That night marked the end, but my planning began earlier. I didn't scream, didn't confront. I simply stopped calling, stopped explaining. I became a ghost in my own home. A few weeks before I vanished, I drained our joint account. Carefully, legally, every dollar documented, protected, rightfully mine. When she realized I was gone, she panicked. Not out of grief, but out of control. She went online, weeping into phone cameras, spinning a story about a broken man who snapped and abandoned his family. People believed her. Of course, they did. She always had a flair for performance. But what they didn't know was that I'd already bought a cabin, nestled deep in a sleepy lakeside town where silence wasn't emptiness but peace. The scent of pine replaced the synthetic perfume she wore, and mornings came soft and slow. I let my beard grow, chopped wood, breathed air that didn't reek of resentment. I didn't hide. I healed. Meanwhile, her world cracked. The man she left me for? He bolted 6 weeks after realizing she came with more baggage than charm. 2 kids, no savings, and a collapsing illusion of perfection. Her empire of curated selfies, and half-truths began to crumble. She tried reaching out again. I didn't answer. Silence is a blade of its own. A year to the day after I left, I sent her a package. Inside was a simple card. My handwriting clear. Happy anniversary of not caring. Next to it, the deed to the house, signed over to her, no conditions. A gift, really, and a USB drive. The drive held footage. It began with that birthday night. Her voice crystal clear as she delivered her daggered line. Then security footage from our own kitchen. Her and him, wrapped in each other while my birthday cake sat untouched in the background. After that, a series of text messages, emails, every betrayal neatly cataloged, time-stamped. And finally, my voice calm and direct. Asterisk, you said you wouldn't care if I disappeared. So I did. Why, you laugh. I rebuilt. I left you everything. Except me. Asterisk. I didn't just send it to her. I sent copies to friends, family, the school board, anyone who had swallowed her lies without question. Within weeks, the persona she wore began to rot. Friends unfollowed. Doors closed. The whispers began to turn. She wrote to me, finally, a letter filled with shaky sentences and wet apologies. Asterisk, why would you do this? We could have fixed it. You didn't have to destroy everything. Asterisk. But I did, because ghosts don't just vanish. They haunt. She lost allies, lost the story she had carefully crafted. And me? I found something far rarer. Peace. Not the thunderous kind with fireworks and headlines. The kind that hums like crickets at dusk, that wraps around you like a flannel blanket and says, "You're safe now." I still see my children. The court saw through her act, understood the quiet truth I had carried. She can no longer block them from me. And though I hold no hatred, I rarely think of her. But every now and then, when I hear distant laughter float through the trees, I remember her words. If you slipped away tomorrow, I wouldn't even care. I smile, because she felt every second of my absence. Disappearing wasn't weakness. It was strategy. I didn't yell. I didn't fight. I simply erased myself so completely that when she finally turned to look for me, there was nothing left to hold on to. That was the revenge.